Oh, no woohoo. Maybe? Alright, we're back. Now, I'm not 100% sure when it cut out, but here's the gist of it. I am having some technical issues tonight. Wi Fi appears to be on strike. I'm gonna try to finish this stream, but if I continue to experience technical difficulties, please do not be mad at me. So basically, we're talking about making a good build. So, in order to make a good build, one would need to, so basically, my personal preference is to definitely pick the Deprived class. Because you start at Soul Level 1, and you 100% get 10 across the board in all traits. And that is really the best for making your build upon. Toro. So, as I was saying when we started this stream, in case it didn't go through, um, basically, well, you want to start as Deprived class. We've already gone over that. But for the starting item, they don't want to give you too much leeway like they did in the first game. So you can't get a master key. You can't do anything like that. So what I would do, personally, is the life ring is not very good. It doesn't increase your health by a substantial amount. And the one moment. Anywho, and the Divine Blessing and Hidden Blessing are like single use, so I wouldn't recommend getting those. Gold coin, single use. Um, um, Shoot, I forget the rest, but even though it is also single use, I think it has the best application for making your build early on. And I would definitely go with the Sovereign's Soul when you start the game, which you can see on my hotbar down there. Alright, back at this. I need to concentrate, so shh. I'm having some real difficulty with this. Anywho, definitely, my personal opinion is to definitely start with the soul. Because it'll allow you to get just a couple extra levels in at the beginning of the game, and those can make all the difference in Lothric Castle. Back at it again. Finally. Sorry, that was probably pretty painful to watch, wasn't it? Anywho, so, in order to make our build, now that we've got 4,000 souls from that encounter, and that is more than the Eudix gives, which is the first boss of the area. He gives only 3,000 souls. So, and by defeating them, we are giving ourselves a great advantage at the beginning of the game. Now make sure not to lose these souls to the Eudix. There is a possibility you might, so if you would like to, you can defeat the Eudix first and then attempt the Crystal Lizard, but there's also a possibility that you might lose the souls to the Lizard as well. So we're going to continue to play through this area normally by defeating all the enemies and grabbing the fire bombs down at the bottom. Getting a lot of chimes. Love the sound that those make. Chingling. Sorry, that was a bit cringe. Anywho, I gotta make commentary on myself, otherwise I'll lose my mind. Oh no. Oh, phew. Alright, we're back at it. We're still going. We're still going. So, my Wi-Fi is on strike right now. So what you want to do is you're going to want to jump over there and make sure to jump on top of this coffin here, because there is a Titanite shard up there and that can help you later in the game. Drop kill this guy and run into the Eudix arena. This guy's just a one-hit kill if you don't roll. So for Eudix Gundyr, what I'd suggest is to stay behind him, and then to just roll, watch his attacks as they telegraph. So definitely stay behind him and watch his attacks as they telegraph. Keep moving in one direction. Alright, so now that we've dealt with him, you can see he gives us 3,000 souls. Or around 3,000. Yes, 3,000. I was correct for once in my life. So now we're going to go ahead and progress normally. I'm going to go ahead and grab everything, but then we're going to take a drastic turn in our strategy. So on the right here, keep a watch out. There's a dog. There's 2 embers around the shrine. Now, I'd 100% kill these guys before picking up the shield, because if you pick up the shield, both of them will aggro. Like that. So, I would definitely kill them before touching anywhere near the shield, because they will not aggro until you touch the shield or attack them, but they will only aggro one at a time if you only attack one at a time. Okay, so now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up behind the shrine. And there's an exploit here that we can use to our advantage in order to progress faster and also have an easier time. So this tree here has some wonky collision on it, as you can see. You can kind of run up the tree. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to get a running start, run up the side of the tree kind of at a diagonal angle. And then you're going to want to flick right. So you're going to want to run up the tree a bit like this. And then you're going to want to flick right and jump whilst running. And then that will allow you to jump up onto this roof here, where you'll be able to get a homeward bone and an Estus shard, which will be in here. But don't leave yet, because over here there is a fog wall. You can go through here and fall down here onto the slatch. And there's a chest in here. Now you can tell it's not a mimic, because if it was a mimic, then the chain would be straight instead of curled up. So now I go ahead and go to the Shrine Handmaiden. Sell all your souls. Don't forget to dequip whatever you're not going to use, as I have just forgotten. So, I, in my personal opinion, would 100% keep the Covetous Silver Serpent Ring on the entire game. it does not increase your souls by a drastic amount, but over the course of the game, it does add up a considerable amount. And now that I think about it, that does sound contradictory to my earlier theory about the life ring, but the souls are very important in this game, and the life ring really does give you diminishing returns.
Well, the Lord very well then.
So, pick your weapon at the beginning of the build. You can look it up on the wiki. Very easy to find stuff on the Dark Souls 3 wiki. I personally am going to be using the Great Scythe, so I'm going to level up 14 Dexterity and 14 Strength, and then I'm going to put the rest into Vigor.
Farewell, Ashen One.
So, don't forget to do this, which I do all the time, but 100% definitely use your Estus Shard now. So reinforce your Estus Flask, and then allot your Estus however you'd like it. I personally always use full Estus power, unless I'm doing a Pyromancy build or anything. Now, once we get to the High Wall of Lothric, which you, I couldn't figure this out when I first started playing the game, but you press travel, and it'll pop up, the first thing that pops up is the High Wall of Lothric, so that's where you're gonna want to go. And then the rest of the game will progress linearly from there, but you can also teleport back to the shrine whenever you need to from any bonfire. So, when you get here, this is where the paths diverge, basically, for the skill levels. So, if you are a veteran to the Soul series, you can do what I'm about to do here. But if you're just starting out the Soul series, I would 100% recommend playing through this area normally. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to be speedrunning this area as best as I can. So, basically, just keep running and dodge enemies. Roll down over here, and you can roll down without taking any fall damage. Don't grab any items, you don't need them yet. So I'm just gonna keep running. Something I learned recently is you're gonna want to draw out this knight up here. You're gonna actually want to draw him out and then run behind him. Now you can jump off back here and keep running. Always roll when you hit the ground, or spam roll while you're in the air, because it'll allow you to hit the ground faster and keep moving. Otherwise you'll have to go through a sort of stagger animation when you hit the ground. Never let your stamina bar run out. Always let off the run button whenever you're getting close to the end of your stamina bar. You're going to want to go up this elevator. I would 100% recommend this because you are not actually speedrunning the game. So you're going to want to open this door shortcut here, just in case you die to the boss of the area. And that shortcut cuts right up to the bonfire we just lit. So now we're going to want to run through the door here. Took a little bit of damage, but that's okay. I do relatively well towards the boss of the area. So, don't be afraid to heal. Typically the enemies won't catch up to you if you're doing this right. This has happened to me before. The best thing to do is to just let yourself die. And that's why we opened up that shortcut earlier, is because it opens up an incredible amount of shortcut, basically. So we're going to run down here this time. Then you can just drop down here, roll, drop down here and roll. And we're back into the lift chamber. So now there'll be less enemies grouped up down here. And this can take as many tries as you want. It's not going to affect you, besides your first death where you lose your ember. I'm going to go ahead and fall down here. There's a ledge here they added as a shortcut to get down to the boss quicker. These guys won't follow you into the boss arena as far as I know, so just keep running through the boss arena and don't worry about them. Even if they do follow you in, they will be teleported out if they do enter the boss arena once the boss spawns. So once you get to this door here, the boss will spawn. You can watch the cutscene if you want. With this guy, the key is to delay your rolls. In the first phase, you can get under him really well and not take any damage while he attacks by getting under him. But in the second phase, that will not work. Okay, so he'll start doing a triple attack here. He will attack 3 times. You want to delay your rolls until he's right next to you, otherwise that'll happen. Now, don't attack him yet. Wait till he starts firing his frost beam, and then start attacking. You can actually get more attacks in that way. Stick behind him. Most bosses sticking behind them works. I might die here. Yep, it was inevitable. Very epic music for that boss. And that's why we opened up the shortcut, because as I said, this is the Souls series, and the Souls series is known for being especially difficult. I've been by no means a professional. I haven't completed a single game in the series. I do own almost every game in the series, though, and I have played them, except for... Well, basically, I only own 2 games. Let me rephrase that. I own some of the games in the series, the Dark series. I don't own Demon Souls or Bloodborne or anything like that. I used to play these games with a keyboard, and that was okay. You can get used to it, but I would 100% recommend playing with a controller if you can. It really is much better. A lot of people said it was online, so I went ahead and tried it out, and it is definitely a lot better. In this game, you can run in any direction whilst locked onto an enemy. I would 100% recommend that sometimes. But it only works in very open boss arenas. Typically, boss arenas in the Soul series are very open, however. And now he's dead, so that only took 2 tries. That's pretty good. Typically I beat him first try, but I can't prove that, so you'll just have to take my word. Okay, so the knights won't enter this chapel here for a certain reason, which I shan't be explaining. But you just want to talk to her and get the banner. Go ahead and pick up whatever you want. Talk to her 3 times if you want. And then just run straight back to the bonfire. I like to keep a full health bar on me at all times, just in case of spamming attacks. Which these knights are very fond of. So, don't forget to light the bonfire here. I always forget to light the bonfire. Alright, so first things first, we're gonna go ahead and run off this cliff right here. We'll kill these dogs, get the alluring skulls. Ouchies. That hurt my soul. Not the in-game soul, my real-life soul. It hurt very bad. I was not paying attention. That was hilarious. Oh, my souls. No. Anywho. It's alright. Souls are infinite in this game. It just depends on how much work you're willing to put in. So one of these guys is alive. You'll definitely want to talk to them, because they will give you 5 free level ups and a special ending to the game. The rest of them are dead, though. You'll get your 5 free level ups at different points in the game. Just continue to check back with him in the shrine. So you're going to want to lure this guy out and run past him. Again, we're speedrunning this area, basically, so just don't grab anything. Not much to say about this area. The weapon I'm going to use for my build is going to be in this area. Genuinely not much to say. Man, this thrall is dedicated. You cannot be hurt or attacked whilst you are opening a door. You do get invincibility whilst opening doors, so I would recommend opening a door whenever you can. The whole puzzle of this area is that these two elevators are connected. I don't know why, but the enemies do not like being in here properly. Don't sell, well, don't use the branch. You can't sell it, but don't use it. This guy actually helps us later on in the game. Well, a bit. He's somewhat helpful. But he's also a menace if you do not talk to him. He will actually hurt you. Alright, so now I'm gonna go down in order to get the armor set I'm gonna use for this build. Alright, so we're gonna run past these Boreal Outrider Knight. Don't try to attack him. Your weapon sucks right now. If you're doing everything that I'm doing. The knight in there cannot exit the room, so you are completely safe to take the bonfire. I would not deal with these Corvians. They are very annoying and very difficult at this level, considering the soul level I'm at. Basically we're at beginning of the game weapon levels and everything. So I'd just run past all these Corvians. If you're trying to attack all these people, you'll notice it's getting progressively difficult. And that is because of the fact that the game scales the damage and the health of the enemies up as you go along, so you don't get too overpowered during the course of the gameplay. Alright, so now we're gonna get the shield and armor that I want. It's down in this area here. Watch out for these lycanthrope hunters. They do a lot of damage. So, what we're gonna grab is we're gonna just grab 2 items. We're gonna grab this shield right here. And we're gonna grab the armor. Watch out for the giant crab, it is a bit damagey. So now that we've got our armor and shield, we're gonna go ahead and cheese these guys. They are very easy to cheese. You just want to go through here, and you're gonna stand on the top rung of the ladder. And they will fall down and die. Quite surprisingly, this one didn't die, but he just needed a couple hits to finish him off. So you can go ahead and pick up their items. So now we've got the shield and the armor that we want. So definitely I would recommend this armor and shield, because this shield is from the first game. It also gives you extra stamina regeneration. It doesn't block much damage, but I don't find myself blocking very much in this game. It's more Bloodborne related, where you dodge a lot more. One second. Okay, so it's more Bloodborne related, where you dodge a lot more. So you're definitely gonna want to stick like that. And this armor is really light, but it also blocks a considerable amount of damage. And you can get basically the full set of armor on stock levels of vitality. So now we're gonna head back to the undead settlement. And head back to the underside of the cliff. And this is just basically showing you my build. It's not really showing you how to make every build. I will explain where some weapons are for different builds, but I would 100% recommend this armor and shield combination. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go basically the same way we went last time, except this time we're going to go right here. Maybe I should rename this video to how to make my favorite build. I think I'll do that. So, in just about 40 minutes, well, 50 probably considering the stream drop. So I'm going to say in about an hour we're going to have a relatively good build for completing the game with. You can continue to work on it as you notice how the game works more and how you want your build to be. Alright, so now we're going to want to go up here and be quiet. There is a crystal lizard up here, not a ravenous one, just a regular one. And it'll drop a sharp gem. We're going to use that on our scythe that we're getting in order to make it scale more with dexterity. This is a dexterity build that we're going for right now. Reaper class does require some skill in order to do this, but it is very good once you get used to it, I think. It's not very useful for PvP, but when you learn how to time your attacks, any weapon, it can be nearly as good as others. I've done whip builds, I have done dagger builds, I've done near about any sort of build. So, just remember that you gotta learn to use your build. So I'd definitely go over here and grab this undead bone shard, and you can tell it's an important item when the aura around it is larger than other items. So, before we grab our weapon, I'm just going to grab a couple things around here. So there's a really strong enemy in here. You can tell that it's a strong enemy because it's got red eyes. That means it's corrupted by the abyss. So, in order to get the scythe, you're going to want to run over here and jump. And the great scythe is this weapon right here. So we have just enough carry weight to use the scythe and the shield and this armor using deprived class. At 70% or 70.1%, you would start fat rolling, which means that you roll really slow and don't get as many invincibility frames. So we have just enough for this build without upgrading vitality. This is a boss arena. We're not really going over the gameplay of the game right now. We're just kind of going over how to make this build. Now, the Great Scythe was one of the best weapons in the first game. Most say it is the best. Well, some say it is the best, I mean. Alright, so we just did a pro gamer move called dying. I've perfected that move over many a year. It's called dying. It's a pro gamer strat for this game specifically. You do it a lot in this game, and it helps you to feel that you've fulfilled your destiny when you've done it enough times. Alright, so the final thing we're gonna do that I forgot to do earlier, I kind of do things in an erratic manner, is we're gonna go back to Fahren Keep. And we're gonna want to go back up. Need some elevator music for this. So we're going to want to go up here and to the left. Now don't go directly left, do a bit of a curved trajectory because there is a large crab there and you will be aggroed. And there is deep water there and that will cause you to fat roll and not be able to run. So run around it. So what we're doing here is we're just getting past these lycanthropes over here. And we're going to want to get past this Black Knight. At the end of this hallway, there is an item which will assist us in our journey. It's called the Fahren Coal. And then we're just going to run back to our bonfire. Alright, so now we're going to make our final trip back to Firelink Shrine. And we can go ahead and talk to Andre the Smith. Now, fun fact about him, he's actually from the original game. He was a minor character in it, but he's a bit more of a major character in this one. So we're going to give him the Fahren Coal. And then we're going to infuse our Great Scythe with a Sharp Gem. And that'll give it a B-class scaling in dexterity. That's just about the best you can get for this weapon. So now that you've got a high dexterity scaling, whenever you level up, you're going to want to put into what you want, but don't put it into strength. You're going to want to put all your points into dexterity now, and each time you increase dexterity, it'll increase the damage of the weapon by a couple, and that adds up over time. So now you've made my build. We've got the Fallen Knight armor, the Great Scythe, and the Grass Crest shield, and you can get this relatively early in the game, relatively easily, with only 2 bosses. And it will do good damage on the High Wall of Lothric, and it'll allow, if you progress normally, it'll allow you to get through the game with, well, I won't say minimal trouble, because this is a Soul Series game, but it will help you get through the beginning of the game, at least, relatively easily for a Soul Series game. So thank you all for watching. This is the end of my stream. I will see